Yeah, police are limited on details, but we'll tell you everything that they've told us at this point. I want to stress we are in Richland Hills right now at Boulevard 26 near Vance Road. I'm going to push off to the side so that you can see this scene. It was an active scene up until about an hour ago. Now this scene is more investigative. We can confirm that this was a shooting involving officers. One person has died. That person is the suspect. We did see a body in the middle of the road. Now, we won't show you that, but you can see all the responding units. We see 4 police units who likely responded to this suspect. You see evidence markers there on the ground. That outlines where all the shell casings are, likely near that vehicle. Police also tell us there is no current threat to the public, and I want to stress that. There is no current threat to the public, and no officers were hurt in this shooting. Now, the Texas Rangers are handling the officer-involved part of this investigation, and there is a neighboring agency, we don't know which, is handling the criminal part of this investigation. We're going to be back out live here. If police are asking people to avoid this area. Again, we are at Boulevard 26 and Vance here in Richland Hills. There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. Most importantly, what exactly has happened here? And we'll get some more information here, hopefully within the next 30 to 45 minutes. Reporting live here in Richland Hills, I'm Joe Panic.
Police in Tarrant County killed an armed man after a shootout. Hello again, I'm Steve Eager. Ring camera footage shows the moments before police arrive. Someone could be seen running down a neighborhood street screaming, "Call the police." And then moments later, you see a man go by holding a gun. It's difficult to see, but the second guy has a gun. Fox 4 Stephen Dial live at the scene in Richland Hills tonight with the update from police. Stephen.
Richland Hills Police and North Richland Hills Police responded to a shots fired call. They say when they encountered the gunman, he allegedly pointed his rifle in the direction of the officers. According to police, they say 2 Richland Hill officers shot and killed the man. A family shared ring surveillance video of the moments before, where you can see a man carrying what appears to be a rifle. Take a look at how things started.
Hey, excuse me. Call the police, he got a gun.
This video was taken around 3 o'clock this afternoon on Hardesty Drive near Boulevard 26. Moments after, a man runs across the frame screaming for police. Then you see another man in the frame. In the camera shot, he appears to be holding a rifle. Because of the distance from the doorbell camera, it's hard to make out, but he appears to be holding a rifle in his left hand and running down the street. Police did not answer questions about who made the initial shots fired call. Officers would eventually encounter this man on Boulevard 26. We talked to a young woman who was at the home that captured the video. She and her boyfriend were visiting her grandmother, who lives apparently next door to the gunman's home. Her boyfriend was outside in a parked car where the gunman ran by.
And as soon as I get in the door, I hear arguing, and I'm like, what's that? And then my grandma looks outside, and she sees the guy with the gun, and he cocks it and looks at her. They make eye contact, and she shuts the door, and she's like, stay inside, stay inside. And Gavin was outside with this guy with this huge gun. So it was really scary.
I was keeping my head down, and so I got in the driver's side after a while, and I just sped off once he got far enough away.
I think if we had gotten there maybe 30 seconds later, we could have got caught up in that, and that's really scary. I think it's really lucky that no one got hurt, really. I just think it's almost a miracle, you know?
As for the shooting itself, there is very little information. Sky 4 captured the rifle in the middle of the street near the armed man's body. It also captured more than a dozen evidence markers nearby. When questioned tonight about how many shots officers fired, a clear answer was not given. It's unknown how many times the man was shot. His identity is not being released at this time, and no officers or anyone else was injured. Also, because this is an officer-involved shooting, the Texas Rangers have been brought in to investigate the officer-involved shooting component of things. Again, the street was blocked off for hours. No one else injured despite reports of shots fired.
Friday afternoon for WFAA News at 4 o'clock. And thanks for being with us on a busy Friday afternoon for WFAA News at 4 o'clock. We're going to start off with a couple of pieces of breaking news today. Right now, police are investigating a shooting near the border of Richland Hills and North Richland Hills. This is the scene right here near Vance and Glenview Drive. Police on the scene out there. We haven't been given a whole lot of information, but that is definitely an area that you probably want to avoid for a little while. It looks like they've got some roads blocked off out there. We see a lot of crime scene tape. Our Jobin Paniker is headed to that scene right now, and we will see if he can bring us some more information here in the next little bit. It looks like that parking lot is definitely a centerpiece, that AutoZone parking lot where they have quite a bit of that crime scene tape.
Now, to new information in a shooting today involving 2 police officers in Richland Hills. Chopper 8 was over the scene, showing dozens of evidence markers near possible shell casings right there. It happened near Boulevard 26 and Glenview Drive in Richland Hills. And within the last couple of hours, police confirmed the suspect died from his injuries. Jobin Paniker is live on the scene tonight with the latest information. Jobin?
Well, they've finally opened up the road here on Boulevard 26. It was a crime scene for the last 6 hours. We want to show some video for you here. This is from earlier at about 3:11. Police responded to calls about a man shooting a semi-automatic rifle in a Richland Hills neighborhood. A neighbor shared their Ring video with us. You could hear one gunshot, and it shows a man who is shirtless running down the street carrying a long gun. Now, police tell us no one in the neighborhood was hurt. Officers spotted him here on Boulevard 26, about a block away. That's where he was shot and killed in the middle of the road. Now, police tell us 2 Richland police officers engaged him and fired those shots. No officers were hurt, but the evidence markers show the number of shell casings from officer fire.
I can confirm he was hit by the Richland Hills officers when he raised and aimed what is identified as a semi-automatic rifle at them.
We spoke with 2 people who were in the neighborhood at the time. Sina Rebarsh and Gavin Hill had just gotten home when they heard yelling. It is the family home Ring video that you see there. Gavin says he heard 1 or 2 shots. He was inside his car at the time and ducked so he wouldn't be seen by the man carrying the gun.
So as he was moving in that opposite direction, I started driving away as fast as I could.
Me and Gavin would have just been in the middle of it. We could have got shot. It's just scary, you know?
Now, police are not yet releasing the name of the suspect. They wanted to connect with his family. Reporting live here in Richland Hills, I'm Jobin Paniker.
For a 3rd time in the past week, a possible road rage shooting in North Texas happening overnight in North Richland Hills. CBS 11's Vanessa Brown is there with the latest. Vanessa.
Good morning, Russ. Well, in this case, the victim pulled into this Waffle House parking lot with a bullet wound through his arm. Well, luckily for him, there was a man here with former military experience ready to jump into action. It all started around 2 o'clock this morning. North Richland Hills police tell us the 33-year-old was driving on North Loop 820 near Holiday Lane when someone fired a shot into the passenger side of his car, hitting him. Police say he pulled off the highway and into the parking lot where he called out for help. 2 men came to his rescue, one of them a Waffle House cook, the other an Army veteran who relied on his training to stop the bleeding.
I was actually cooking, and he honked and waved and all this stuff, and I thought he was a regular. And then come to find out he'd been shot. We seen his window, blood everywhere, and started assisting him. Customers didn't mind. Call for help.
Said he got in road rage and somebody shot him, so he was more worried about getting the bleeding stopped. But once you put a tourniquet on, the bright red bleeding stops.
The victim is at the hospital. As for the suspect, police say he was wearing a white baseball cap behind the wheel of a white mid-size SUV. They are urging anyone who may have witnessed anything to come forward. Live in North Richland Hills, Vanessa Brown, CBS 11 News.